All right, let's just dive right into this explainer. Today, we're breaking down what is, honestly, an absolute masterclass in tournament combat. We're going to frame Shaoli's completely brutal back-to-back gauntlet like it's a high-stakes esports boss rush. Because, if you love dissecting combat mechanics and watching how overwhelming odds get just systematically dismantled, well, you are absolutely in for a treat today. So here's the game plan. We're tracking the escalation level by level. First, the Golden Lotus Strike. Second, Shattering Illusions and Armor. Third, the Infinite Beast Army. Fourth, Clash with the Sword Saint. And finally, number 5, Invitation from the Strongest. Then we'll look at the massive story shift that happens right after the dust settles. The lineup of challengers here is just an absolute nightmare bracket for Xiaoli. Seriously, each opponent he faces possesses a completely different, seemingly unbeatable combat specialty. We've got aesthetic sword dances, intangibility, brute force, infinite summoning, and flawless technique. So it's not just about hitting hard, right? Xiaoli actually has to solve 5 entirely different combat puzzles completely back-to-back. Level 1, the Golden Lotus Strike. Our boss rush kicks off with the breathtaking Liu Chen, bringing a highly elegant but deadly aesthetic to the arena. You see, while the crowd is completely mesmerized by her exquisite sword dance and the beautiful golden lotus blooming at her feet, Xiaoli's tactical brain is already working in overdrive. He immediately spots the hidden danger, an extremely terrifying sword intent inside that lotus. It's basically a ticking time bomb. It acts as a damage multiplier that constantly, steadily accumulates power with every single petal that blooms. So, the golden rule of gaming applies here. You do not let the boss finish their cast animation. Xiaoli definitely doesn't wait around for her to max out her damage multiplier. He just immediately counters with the Annihilation Slash. It's a brutal, lightning-fast attack that completely shatters the lotus petals way before they can reach critical mass. This forces a graceful but immediate surrender from the Yu Chan. Boom. A clean, mechanical victory to start the run. Moving right along to level 2, Shattering Illusions and Armor. Now Xiaoli has to face 2 entirely different extremes. Yun Chuan's slippery mechanics and Hero's absolute brute force. First up is Yun Chuan, and this guy rolls up with what honestly looks like a completely broken, bugged ability. He turns into a spiritual mist. It's a total intangibility cheat that renders both magic and physical damage completely useless. Energy attacks just pass right through him, and physical hits, well, it's like slapping a mosquito. His whole strategy is to just stall the fight and wait out his opponent's spiritual stamina. But Xiaoli's counter to this invulnerability frame? It is hilariously brutal. You can't hit his body? Okay, fine. Hit his mind. Xiaoli pops the power of the Dragon God and hits Yun Chuan with a soul-suppressing dragon roar. This mental attack completely freezes Yun Chuan's brain. The guy literally turns into a stiff statue. And, just to add insult to injury, Xiaoli physically slaps Yun Chuan repeatedly across the face until he's swollen like a pig just to wake him up and get him to concede. I mean, that is a masterclass in bypassing defense through hard crowd control. Then, literally right after dealing with the tricky rogue, Zhao Li is confronted by Hero. This guy is a mountain-like giant, coated in thick earth-yellow armor. He's the physical manifestation of a tank class. So it really begs the question, how on earth do you outmuscle a tank when they have superior defense and massive size? Well, you pop your own ultimate physical buff, the power of the Dragon God. Xiaoli doesn't even try to outsmart Hero here. He just decides to completely outstat him. He covers himself in translucent golden dragon scales, which massively boosts his physical attributes. And they just brawl. It turns into this visceral, ground-shattering fistfight where Xiaoli simply punches straight through the earth armor, eventually sending Hero flying and basically embedding him into the arena floor. Level 3, the Infinite Beast Army. After crushing Hero's armor, Zhao Li advances to face Fang Shenshu, who manages to turn a one-on-one duel into a massive, overwhelming raid battle. Okay, this is where the mechanics get truly wild. Fang Shushu summons dozens of mid-stage 7th rank beasts. We're talking an entire army. And her infinite mana loop cheat works like this. When Xiaoli kills a beast, it takes damage and shatters into water droplets. Those droplets then flow right back into her pool, perfectly refunding her energy. She can infinitely summon high-level mutant beasts without ever actually draining her stamina. So, how do you break a closed loop? Simple. You destroy the resources. Xiao Li smartly uses lightning explosions to literally evaporate the water droplets, totally preventing the spiritual energy from returning to her pool. Realizing her trick is completely busted, Fang Shishu panics and summons her ultimate trump card, a colossal mammoth behemoth with an insane healing factor. But Xiao Li? He goes absolutely wild. He completely breaks the action economy by dual-wielding and manipulating 6 Thunderblades simultaneously. He just overwhelms the mammoth's healing with an insane barrage called the Annihilation's 6 consecutive slashes, bursting the boss down way before it can even try to regenerate.
Level 4, Clash with the Sword Saint. The arena is in absolute ruins, the crowd is stunned, and now we reach the final boss of the gauntlet, Zhu Feng, the disciple of the Sword Saint. Now, this isn't just a physical battle, it's a classic clash of philosophies. On one hand, you have Zhu Feng, whose combat philosophy focuses on flawless technique and precision. He effortlessly deflects massive lightning strikes with millimeter-perfect, zero-waste sword movements. And on the other hand, Xiao Li relies on overwhelming speed and power, operating on the belief that raw stats can and will shatter perfect technique.
And Xiao Li flexes incredibly hard here. He actually tells a recognized swordmaster, right to his face, that of all martial arts techniques in the world, none are invincible except for speed. He's basically saying that flawless technique doesn't mean a thing if you simply attack faster and harder than your opponent can physically block. If 10 swords aren't enough, summon 20, 30, 40. He just completely saturates the arena with attacks until Zhui Feng's perfect defense inevitably cracks. The tactical escalation really peaks in their final exchange. Zhui Feng summons this unavoidable, devastating giant sword strike, but Xiao Li tanks it directly, surviving completely unscathed by revealing a triple-layered defense: chaos energy, dragon scales, and thunder armor. Then, he immediately goes on the counteroffensive. He roots Zhui Feng in place with Thunder's Lament lightning chains, totally suppressing his spiritual power, and delivers the final undeniable blow, a massively fused, chaos-enhanced blade resting right against Zhui Feng's throat. Just like that, the boss rush is cleared. Which brings us to number 5, Invitation from the Strongest. With 14 challengers defeated, the boss rush is officially over. Xiao Li stands undefeated, but the story pivots in a major way right at the post-battle banquet. See, just as everyone is celebrating, a guy named Ye Fan crashes the party, and he's not just anyone. He's the disciple of the absolute strongest man in Great Sha, Lu Wohan, a literal living legend who single-handedly guards the nation. Ye Fan delivers a personal, VIP invitation to Xiao Li directly from his master, saying, "Meet me at Wuting Mountain tomorrow at noon." I mean, that is an invitation you simply do not refuse. But wait, that's not all. Right as the banquet is wrapping up, a waitress slips a mysterious folded note directly onto Xiao Li's plate. He reads it, his expression completely changes, and he quietly hides it away. So I have to ask you, between a shocking invitation from a living legend and a secret note from the shadows, what incredible escalation awaits our champion next? Leave your theories down below, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.